Jack Massey, thank you very much for joining us. Press conference done for the world title fight. How are you feeling?
I feel buzzing, absolutely buzzing. You know, thanks to the guys, you know, the FightZone team for getting me this opportunity. It's absolutely amazing. It's what dreams are made of. So I can't wait.
FightZone is a platform that seems to be growing pretty quickly. You know, it's come through lockdown, and all of a sudden it seems to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Perfect for a fighter like yourself.
Yeah.
Just talk to us a little bit about that opportunity and what it means to you before we even get to the world title that's on the line.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, we had a bit of a rough patch, struggle for fights before signing with FightZone, and you know, it's been completely honest. It come to a point where I sort of thought, do I really want to do this anymore? It was very frustrating, and then, you know, whatever happened, blah blah blah, and you know, signed with FightZone. First fight, got me an IBF European title.
Let's see it. Ollie said, let's see it. I've seen you rip it.
Yeah, I've not took it off yet. Yeah, so first fight with them got me this. Now second fight, they've got me a world title fight. So, you know, it says something.
As a boxer, that's everything you want, isn't it? The belts to add to the collection, so to speak. What are they like as people to work with?
Good, absolutely great. Like a family.
Yeah.
You know, Dennis. He's you know, he's a funny guy. He's absolutely amazing. He's, you know, it's like I've known him all life. And
yeah.
you know, he's a Yorkshireman. You know, the Yorkshiremen are, you know, they're always friendly people, so always good to get on with. I know a lot of, you know, people from Yorkshire. And he's a great guy, and the rest of the team, they're all absolutely amazing. That's what I like, that close knit sort of vibe where you can pick up the phone and ring, you know, Jason McCloy or Dennis or Steve or, you know, Kevin Marie. You can pick up the phone, ring him any time and speak to him, and, you know, if anything's, you know, not going wrong, you can just speak to him any time. That's what you want. It's
kind of why I ask you, because everyone seems to give off this family vibe, if you like, and especially now they've got their own project to grow with FightZone and everything that goes on within that. Let's talk about you then and the division as a whole. You've got a world title fight here. You're at the business end of the division now, if you like.
Yeah.
All being well, we get the win.
Yeah.
What happens then? Because it's all of a sudden realistic to start calling out the very biggest names in the division because you've got this bargaining chip.
Yeah.
So what happens for you there?
Well, it only takes one of these guys, like I said before, to unify and, you know, or like you say, call out one of the big guys. You know, take the fight step by step, get this fight over and done with first. You know, then we're a world champion. I'll be a world champion, so, you know, we can go back to the drawing board. But before this happened, we was looking at the British, Commonwealth and European. We asked for that with Billam-Smith, and, you know, it didn't materialise. And sometimes it can be too blindsided trying to chase. There's always different routes to go, if you know what I mean. There's always different paths and routes you can take. And we took this route, and it's come off. We've got the title. We've got a world title fight around, so it's worked perfectly.
Talk to me a little bit about the fight itself. I hear so much. If I'm honest, I don't know a great deal about the opponent. But what do you know, and what do you see that's coming forward?
Yeah, I've watched the fight with Thomas McCarthy.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very close fight. What he said on the table, that he only had 4 weeks or whatever to train for it. You know, who knows if that's the truth or not? I don't know. But sometimes is the fact with, you know, some of these matchroom fights. But, you know, he lost the fight, and it is what it is. But he's a good fighter. I've watched the fight, and he's a good fighter, and he's got the makings of a good fight. So,
what did you make of Tommy McCarthy, Chris Billam-Smith, by the way, when that happened? Because I guess someone like yourself watches that for more than just a fan's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I watch it on more of a equal sort of. Do you know what I mean? I'm not biased to any of them, even though, you know, I get on with McCarthy and I like him as a guy, and I'm respectful, you know, with Chris Billam-Smith as well. But personally, I thought McCarthy won that fight. I think he just nicked that fight. But I don't really know what's happening with it at the minute. I don't know if he's getting a rematch or not. I'm not too sure. I think he deserves the rematch. But who knows? But yeah, I think McCarthy won.
I guess for you now, it's just like you say, it's business.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter who the opponent is, really. No. When we're at this end of the division now, it's about bargaining chips, and it's about what belts you can get.
Yeah.
So again, we come back to this question of if you get through the world title fight, you've got an IBO chip there to bargain with. You've got things to go for, like the British, you know, and if that fight with Billam-Smith and McCarthy doesn't come off for whatever reason, are you confident a Billam-Smith fight could happen? That's a big fight. Like that's not a little fight. So that's a really big fight.
Yeah.
Are you confident of getting something like that off?
Absolutely, 100%. I'd say that fight any day. You know, if you know everything was right, everything was settled right, and yeah, I'd say that fight any day of the week.
I spoke with Chris quite a lot in the build up to that fight, and one thing that was different between him and Tommy was Tommy saying, if I get this win against Chris Billam-Smith, it's world titles next, you know, and he's talking about a Coley's and Myris Bradis and, you know, these guys. Whereas Chris was saying, look, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, you know, so I'm not going to be pushing straight away.
I think he proved that in that last fight. I think he proved that he's got a lot to learn, and you know, he didn't look the best, you know, he's loading up. He was looking for the big shot, and he seemed to tire at times, and yeah, I don't think he's ready for that world level. It
kind of works for you though, that doesn't it? Because if he had said, right, I've done that now, I'm not looking at any of these guys. If Tommy McCarthy had won, for example, you might not really get a look in because he's aiming higher. No negativity intended. Whereas with Chris now, if that rematch doesn't happen, I mean, let's roll the dice for it. Let's go for it. That's got to be incentive for you, I guess, going into this one.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Who knows what we'll look for after this? You know, it's all about timing in boxing.
Yes.
As you'll know, it's all about timing and taking the right fights at the right time. So you know, get through this fight obviously first. You know, make sure I win this world title and see what's there. Afterwards, see what kind of fight's there, and if the time is right and the fight's right, then we'll be taking it all day long.
I've got to ask you off topic just before we go. Fury Wilder at the weekend.
Oh, amazing. I didn't get up. I watched it in the morning, but I did the daft thing. I went on my phone before I watched it.
Silly. Yeah.
Found out what happened. Yeah, absolutely mega fight. You know, I was a bit sceptical. I didn't really want to see the fight. You know, another one. Until Joshua lost to Usyk, I always wanted to see Fury and Joshua fight. And that's all I had in my mindset. I just wanted to see them. You know, great for British boxing and all that. But after Joshua got beat by Usyk, I thought, do you know what? It's going to be a good fight. Might as well watch it. And the build-up was great, and you know, it sort of drawed everyone back in again, and everyone was buzzing for the fight. And what a fight it was!
Certainly delivered, didn't it? Well, listen, mate, we'll let you crack on. I know you're a man in demand, but thank you for spending the time today, and good luck when the fight rolls around.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.